I understand you've received, or the club have received, an apology from Enzo, although it did seem like you'd alluded to the fact you've had meetings even before this week.
Yeah, had a really good conversation myself, had 3 or 4 with Enzo. He's apologised to me, he's apologised to the club, and we'll deal with that after a massive game on Sunday.
Can I ask what form the apology took? Was it a written one? Was it
No.
A cup of tea? Was it a pint at the pub over the road?
I don't know if it's a serious meeting. It's a serious meeting about something very serious. To Enzo, I said from every single step along this way, I'm not questioning Enzo's character. I'm not questioning who he is as a person. I believe people make mistakes, and you can't overstep the punishment for the mistake. I think we've made a sanction. We made a decision. I made a decision. And what I want for Enzo is for him to go on here and have an outstanding career.
So you forgive and forget, but not forget just yet. He's still not going to play on Sunday.
No, he won't play on Sunday. But hopefully after that, he'll be a massive part of the group moving forward. There's still a few hurdles that need to be overcome that I won't go into. But at the same time, I want every player really, really focused now on a huge running.
Sorry to go on about it, and we're coming to an end, but is that not shooting yourselves in the foot? Is the best player certainly in that position?
It's not about it. The football is a team sport. It's not about individuals. It's not about shooting yourself in the foot. There are certain values and cultures that I believe in, that this club believe in, that makes the team stronger if you get that right.
What about, it's been mentioned, I have to say not by Arsenal, but people have mentioned on Arsenal's behalf the integrity of the competition.
Who's mentioned that?
I've heard pundits, I've heard...
I haven't heard that.
Is that a concern?
No, I've got an outstanding squad full of outstanding players. It's still a very difficult team to pick in terms of the starting 11. I need to get that right in the next few days.
In terms of team news then, anyone back who has been out for this game?
No, the positive is Este having the 90 minutes against Port Vale. In terms of any others, Trevor's working really, really hard. He's back on pitch. Levi's full training, but he still needs to overcome some hurdles in terms of selection. Reece has been running today, which is great. But no, I've got a good squad and we're ready to go and take on Man City.
So it sounds like all those three, maybe not quite...
They're not ready for Man City.
Next few weeks as well. Obviously, Callum was in charge before you came in, when Chelsea went to City. Got a result there. It's pretty rare actually in the last 5 years for Chelsea to get a result against Man City, not beating Man City since the Champions League final. So have you spoken to him about what he did, how he got the result?
Of course, I spoke to Callum when I first joined the club. I was actually watching that game in an airport on a plane ready to come here to talk to the club. I thought their performance, especially in the second half, was outstanding. Obviously, we know what a fantastic team Manchester City are, full of world-class players, an unbelievable coach, but we know if we put our game together, we get the game plan right, the mentality right, we can cause them problems.
And you said before that Pep's been a big influence on your coaching career, even maybe a bit of an idol and a hero of yours, but there'll be none of that once the whistle blows.
No, huge respect. You can have respect. I don't have a big enough ego to not respect people. I think Pep's influenced everyone in football. He's influenced the game and he's an unbelievable coach. He's had an unbelievable career. But no, I want my team to show what we're capable of on Sunday.
Thanks, Gary. Alex?
Hi, Liam, how are you?
Good.
Must win for Manchester City in their title hopes, but is it just as important for Chelsea?
Yes, 3 points. That takes us closer to our objective, which right now is to qualify for the Champions League. That's all we can focus on. We have teams who will fight relegation, teams who are mid-table, teams who are pushing at the top end of the league. It doesn't matter because every game is so difficult in this league, and we know it's going to be a big challenge on Sunday, but one that we're looking forward to.
You've just said how highly you rate Manchester City, back-to-back wins and then going to this against Arsenal and Liverpool playing so well. How do you beat them when they're playing like that? Can you?
Of course we can. We're a very good team who've gone through a difficult run, even though in that run we were punished for mistakes. There were good moments when I actually analysed the games that we've had. We've caused every team we've played against problems, but haven't had the results for that. We need to make sure that we keep the back doors shut. We need to not switch off. We need to not make mistakes because Manchester City will punish you. But I still want us to go out and play our game.
Moises Caicedo will make his 100th Premier League appearance if he plays. What makes him such a good fit for Chelsea in the Premier League, would you say?
Moy, for me, is one of the best defensive midfield players, if not the best defensive midfield player in world football, because of his intelligence, his physicality, his technical quality, how he understands the game, and he's going to be huge for us on Sunday.
Just finally, Pep, you've already spoken about him, but he's coming up to 10 years at Manchester City. How would you sum up that decade for Pep Guardiola?
Yeah, he's won trophies, he's reinvigorated the team, he's refreshed the team. He also had time to put his style together. And when you have that with the record he's had, not just at Manchester City, but Bayern Munich and then Barcelona, he's an unbelievable manager. One that you look to because he's had such a good career.
Thank you. Good luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex. Nizar?
Hi Liam, I just wondered, with the week to prepare and having the international break as well, is there a chance you might see a different style of Liam Rosenior team, maybe with extra training time on the pitch and things like that?
It's been nice. It's been the first week since I've been here that we've had 2 clear training days in a row to work on things. I don't think a magician can make a team look exactly how he wants to in the time that I've been at the club, but I want to adapt, I want to evolve the team, but never at the expense of winning in the short term. You can't change too much too soon, and that's something that I looked at with the staff. We looked at any international break to make sure we don't change too many things so that we can win games in the short term but still work towards what we want in the long term.
Has that been a challenge throughout your time? Because it feels like there are things that you're changing, but there's obviously some similarities still with your predecessor. Is that one of the big challenges in terms of the inconsistency that you might have had as well, just as a new
Yeah, I
person?
think it's not an excuse. Any manager that comes in the middle of, I think the start of January, you have 20 games in 10 weeks with a new group, a new club. You're trying to get to know those players. You're trying to pick them. Obviously, I watched before all of the games. You try and make evaluations as you're in because you get to know the players better. That's difficult for anyone. But for me, it's making sure we use the time the best that we possibly can. I know where I want my team to get to. I know what I want the team to look like. That may take time, but it cannot be at the expense of winning games and fulfilling our short-term objectives.
Could I just ask, are the players mentally refreshed? You said you needed a bit of a reset. Have you seen that in the players?
They look really, really good. I feel... You saw that. I know it was a game that we expected to win, but I felt the way we went about the game against Port Vale was very, very good. And hopefully that springboards the rest of our running.
Thanks, Nizar. Simon?
Hi Liam. Chelsea haven't beat Man City, as Gary said, 5 years, it's 12 games. Is there a concern that it's a mental barrier as much as an ability one?
No, that's in the past. It's in the past. The record that's happened before this game has no relevance on the game. We need to focus on what's going to be a really difficult game.
Do you think, though, that a win over Man City could be a great launching pad for what you want to achieve for the rest of the season?
Of course, it's 3 points closer to our objective. That's what it is, and that's what we're focusing on.